I wanna make sound. I wanna change everything. I wanna know it, feel it, take it. Oh, I wanna fix everything. But the hardest part of this is to take who you are and change what you need. Stuck in a place you're not meant to be. Take all your doubts, take it from me. You made your chains, now be your release. I wanna scream out, 'cause I can't stand this wait and see. 'Cause I've been way down, way too long. There's still a pulse in me. But the hardest part of this is to take who you are and change what you need. Stuck in a place you're not meant to be. Take all your doubts, take it from me. You made your chains, now be your release. Who let you down? Who let you down? There is no easy way out. Who let you down? Who let you down? The right words, the wrong time, a hard look at the hard lines. Who let you down right now? There is no easy way out. Take who you are and change what you need. Stuck in a place you're not meant to be. Take all your doubts, take it from me.
Hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. My name is Haas. It is a lovely, scorching Friday night. I hope you are all well, or as well as you can be when you're literally melting of sweat. It's fucking awful. I dislike the summer so much. I hope you're having a good week. Well, I hope you've had a good week. I hope the start of your weekend is going well. I hope you're not getting too disappointed by the tennis. I've never watched tennis in my life. Apparently it's quite popular. No idea. Right. Today, we are going to be playing more Firered, Nuzlocke rules, Pokemon, and also actual progression. There's actually a tier list. Thank you, by the way, to Warbeck for making that for me, because good lord, that must have taken so much effort. But yes, Warbeck has been gracious enough to make my tier list of my long list of games that will inevitably become my top 10 most favorite games ever. But today, after we've played a little bit of Nuzlocke, we will be doing the Great Shortening. The Great Shortening. We'll be gone from 60 games. It's at 60 at the minute, and we will be gone down to about 20. I want it to be about 20. And then from that 20, we will do the top 10 on the Sunday night. So hopefully you can be around for that. Yes, so let's jump in to Pokemon. Yeah, well, yes, TC, it is going to be hard as absolute hell, and I'm not going to enjoy going from 60 to 20. I'm going to have to get rid of some of my most favorite games of all time. 2 seconds, because we are having a problem with the audio for... There we go, that should be better. There we go. Oh, it does it previously on your quest. Quest 4, apparently. Okay. Arrived in Pewter City. Took on Pewter City gym leader Brock's Onyx and with Squirtle and won. I didn't say the last word there. Departed the gym in Pewter City. And has saved the game. Wow, that is loud. That is loud for me. That's good lord. Right. We'll turn that down just a little bit. I'm turning it up on your side, but I got absolutely deafened by that. That should be alright. That should be a good level. Hello, Zero, by the way. Hello, TC. Hello, Warbeck. Yeah, it should be a little bit better now. Zero. Right, where were we? Yes, so we defeated Brock. And now we have to go east. To Misty. Oh, thank God for that. So, beforehand, when I was looking at OBS, I was looking at my team and going, the gifts do not seem to be working. Why aren't they working? But they are working. Thank God for that. Oh, Hats, I'm glad I caught up to you. I've been asked to deliver this, so here you go. Running shoes. Awesome. Glorious. I was chatting up there 2 seconds. I knew I'd forget something. The amount of effort I've tried to put onto that that overlay, I've mislaid some particular things. 2 seconds. Where are we going here? I need one of these windows open. This one. That one. And chat is just here. What is that music doing? Right, okay. Should be alright now, but that music's gonna start annoying me soon. Okay. We shall move that there. Move this down. Ah, you've gotta love it, don't you? It's my emulator's been awful, yeah. Why though? Why? Why would it be being a knob right now when it worked perfectly fine yesterday? Just trying to get rid of some non-important bits of software in case that's affecting it. I need that. We'll get rid of that. You've got to love little technical hitches like this, don't you? It almost feels like it's like slowing down. It seems okay for now. No. Come on, you pile of shit. Right, okay. I suppose I can do that for now. It's not a big deal. Just let me get my music up, and I will just put normal music on and mute the game. That is because that is absolutely horrendously annoying. Right. Yeah. Okay. This should be better now. We'll just play this music. Right, so what I want to do is I want to go and get some items. We'll heal as well. I'm not sure if I healed before. Right, so the goal of getting through towards Mount Moon is I either need to get a Pidgey or a Spearow, because I think that's going to help me get through Mount Moon a bit easier. Right, so we'll get a couple of these, and we'll get 4 more of them, just so we've got enough. And yes, we need to level up the Metapause. Okay, so. Nope. Bye-bye. Right, so. What are the Pokemon looking like? Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, we'll go for that then. We will level up Tornado. Should I just go straight into the trainers then and fight them? Or should I get my well, I can't here, I can't get it yet. I think the grass is over the other side of here, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure what level these are. We've got Squirtle as a backup, haven't we? If it's a bit too hard. Oh, it's at the top. Okay. Get Metapod to get the XP, and we'll do a quick shift out to Squirtle. Ah, Sand Attack. I hate Sand Attack. I'll go to the top after this then. I'm guessing I can't get a repel right now. Because... okay. No. Probably should have... Nah, don't mind. I don't think I can get a repel at the shop, and I think I've used my money. I'll have to beat a few trainers before I can even afford a repel. Right. Oh, nice. Crit. I was just trying to think what would probably be the best Pokemon to get from Mount Moon as well. Because I've got two ways I can go. I can get a Geodude and sort of future-proof myself for Lieutenant Surge. But also I could get a Paras, and that would make Misty a lot easier. That's good. What should I get rid of? Tailwhip. Paras. I like Paras. He might be shit, but he looks cool. I like Paras. So much Paras here. Bubble is a definite keep. Withdraw is good defensive thing to have. It's either lower the stat or get rid of tackle. And water gun's just going to be better, isn't it? Whatever. I'm sure I'll regret something at some point. Right, okay. What level does Metapod actually evolve at? Is it 9 or 10? I guess it would make sense that was 10. 10. Cool, that's not too far away. If I keep Tornado at as sort of the starting Pokemon in fights, then it shouldn't be too bad. Let's put Metapod out again to get the XP. Right. I'm not taking any chances with Weedle. Weedle can do a little bit more damage. Caterpie's alright. It's maybe not more damage from Weedle, but more annoying damage in terms of the poison sting. Need to run a Mankey. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do want a Mankey. That would be nice, but how much utility it has compared to something else like I guess getting a bird Pokemon is probably so easy throughout all of the regions that it's not really a mandatory thing right now. If I really want the a Magikarp. I mean, do I just want the Magikarp just because? Just because? Okay, Metapod is it. Glorious. Right, use Caterpie. Yes, we will go back to Tornado. Alright, fair. That's true. That is very true. Get that XP shared around. Oh, that was nice. That was a good hit. Good. That's good. I just want a Mankey. Right, what are we looking like? We're alright. Oh. Let's sort the... Oh. We shall sort the poison out straight away. Don't do what? Don't do what, Zero? Oh no! Don't worry. I wasn't gonna do that. I need the XP. I just wanted to see what was happening over here. I'm not gonna miss them out. It's my only way to get levels. But the best way, anyway. Ratata. Right. Oh, we've got Squirtle. Oh, that hurt. Okay. Alright. Tail whip. Oh my, giddy up. Right, okay. He's gonna hit me with a... When do you get aerial ace? I'm gonna portion just because he's done 2 tail whips to me, and if he crits me, then Squirtle is dead. So that's probably, I would add 2 health left. I think that was probably a good move. Oh my god, it's just, oh my god. That wasn't nice. Ekans. Heal, heal. Right. Don't worry, we're doing partially easy mode 0. I can't deal with the stress of not having portions. I like Bubble. Bubble's good. There's a fair bit of damage. Not horrendous amounts, but also it has a chance of lowering speed, doesn't it? Let's get a few bubbles out so we can get some speed down and hit him with a few tackles. It's not doing enough damage. Defense fell. God. Alright, okay. He really does, TC. I like it. It's good. I like seeing a bit of emotion. Don't worry, Zero. You're alright. Although if I'm being particularly mischievous, I might just start doing stuff wrong to see how far I can push you. Oh, poisoned as well. This is awful. Ekans is horrible. It missed. Bubble him. Bubble him. Oh, that was a fight for the... We're fine. We're fine. See, he can't believe it either, Zero. I actually survived. We are all good. Although I'm quickly running out of portions. The juxtaposition of this compared to doing the Nidoran run on Red is insane, because you literally you for the most part one shot everything on this trainer route. It's not even a challenge. It's really just fairly broken. The look you give me, it's so intriguing. Right. Oh, ratata. Right, well, okay. Till whap. Whip. Rattata is so annoying. I don't know why. I always feel like Rattata gets quite a bad rap, but I think he's actually really good. I like him anyway. I'm definitely healing after this though, because good lord, does he do so much damage. I've got no potions left. Why not? Why not 0? Oh. I've just took a screenshot apparently. I didn't mean to do that. Nice. Tornadoes level 9. Level 9. Oh, nice. Okay. That's good to know. Good to know. Oh god, need a run. No, I don't want to do that just yet. I want to use my last portion. I'm not very good with my item management. See what Bubble does to him. Good speed fall off. That's a good good result. My god, tackle did nothing. Let's see what water gun does. That's better. Right. How are we doing? Where's Tornado? $255 to next level. Cool. And then I'll move Weedle into that position. How did people do this route? Did he just grind in the grass like in a previous route and then move forward after that? Am I doing myself a disservice here? I'm gonna stop going too Squirtle soon. Like a wimp. I might have to make a wimpy move soon. I'm running out of well, I'm out of portions. Why am I doing bubble? I guess the speed helps a bit if I get the debuff. Oh, when it crits, it fucking crits. Jesus. Oh, that did too much damage. Let's tackle, get that, and it didn't get poison off that poison sting, so I am very happy about that. Put Metapod out again. Oh my god, I got 4 fucking Pokemon. I didn't see that. I can't remember what item I give the Rattata. It's probably an antidote. It's probably something absolutely fucking useless. Oh, Oh, this might go bad. This might go bad. How much damage can I do with a level set? Oh, fuck me. No. We're gonna stand and fight. This is gonna take a while. I'm not really too worried about dying, to be honest. I mean, this is the first time I've done it on a game that I've played for the first time. It's not the worst thing if I lose. Let's try and do as much damage as possible here, and then switch out to a Rattata if I need to. If I need to. Oh my god! Oh, giddy up! Ooh, right. I've got. I'm gonna. If he does it. I've got a gamble here. He could do a string shot, and I can kill him. Or yeah, I think I'm gonna switch. Yeah. Oh, he went for the tackle as well. Alright. Is this the second Pokemon or the third? Oh, okay, we went for the third Pokemon, but the thing is, it depends what that Cocoon is like, doesn't it? Because if it can only do Harden... Oh, that was nice. Right, do I try and get some XP off something else? Or do we just yeet it from existence? Look on Metapod. Thing is, I don't. Yeah, I guess the good thing is if I put Metapod on, I can get the XP and then maybe go to a Rattata. I might do a Harden and see if he's got Tackle. If he doesn't have Tackle, I'll go with Rattata. I'll do a few turns just doing a Harden. I want to see if he's got Tackle. Because I'd rather give the XP to something like Rattata than waste it. Well, not wasted on Squirtle, but you know what I mean. Try and keep the rest of the Pokemon. I don't think he's got Tackle. I mean, this might take a while, but I think it might be worth it. The thing is, even if he does have Tackle, I don't think he's going to do 8 damage. Thankfully. So, if you've got any feedback, by the way, do you like the overlay? Is the overlay nice? That's about one little bit of feedback to see what people's thoughts of it is. Thoughts of it are English, hard. Good. OEE will get a lot of XP for that. Well, good man. It'll get him level to 9 anyway. That's good, man. It's good. Glad you're enjoying it. If I had new Pokemon, I would have won. Right, good God. My team took an absolute spanking there. Very true. He's entertaining me as well, TC. Oh, am I? Are you allowing me to go to the Pokemon Center, Zero? Have I ascended to post Wimp, and I can go and collect my free heal? Right. Just tell someone, you know, in close proximity that might happen. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit awkward. Then they might be able to help you. Right, how far? Oh wait, 100. Cool. So if I only do one switch, that's basically 2 fights. Or 2 fights. Gotta be. Yeah, I was thinking that, Zero. What was I gonna ask? Does the latency seem a bit better today? By the way. No, definitely not. I mean, he's getting too far ahead already for my liking. The thing is that the way that I play Pokemon usually is, I'll get like a Pokemon to like that. For instance, like if you're using Squirtle for Brock and he ends up getting to 13, I will sit and grind until every other Pokemon is the same level, which probably makes the game a little bit easier, but a little bit neurotic. That I don't like them being different levels. Fun times. Come on. Okay, we're going to for some reason my controller's just disconnected. So I'm just going to sort that out quickly. Silly thing. Right, okay. Rattata just tears into Caterpies. It's glorious. Come on. Right, one more fight. Metapod. Yes, I want Metapod to That is very true, TC. Very true. Hello, Spider Queen. How are you? How are you doing? Indeed, everyone is hiding here. It seems that everyone is in two places. They're either here watching me play Pokemon, or they're watching tennis. Now, I know where I would be. And it's not watching tennis. Right, so we got that. We'll switch out. Go back to Ratata. Oh, nice barbecue. Glorious. I don't think I've been to a barbecue since... I legitimately have to think about when the last barbecue I went to was. Maybe 2017? Something like that. I've got an excuse though. I've got 2 kids. I'm not allowed a social life. Ooh. I'm also very, very unsocial. So that also contributes to that. Ugh. People. Oh, yeah, yeah. But it vastly predates the apocalypse, yeah. I'm guessing no one, at this point, no one actually gives a shit anymore. Everyone's just like, oh, barbecue, yeah. Yeah, we're fine. We'll be fine. Oh, glorious. Glorious XP. Oh, tornado. You are evolving to a lovely, lovely, masculine Butterfree. Look at that. The height of manliness. The height of manliness. Confusion. Glorious. Right, so we are at the grass. Okay, is this a trainer? Yes. We'll fight this trainer. I can't have very many trainers left, right? There's only max 3. Maximum 3. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Confusion. Confuse him. Please. Don't sing. Don't sing. Right. Hurt yourself. Hurt yourself in confusion. Come on. Pound. Pound. Right. Let's go Rattata. Bite the fluffy pink thing. That confusion didn't last very long. Oh my, giddy up. Oh no. Oh, thank God you used to sit. This Jigglypuff's moveset's like horrible. Right. Well, at least I'm going to go to Squirtle to deal with this because this is insane. Please. Please don't sing. Please don't sing. Please don't sing. Alright, water gun. Come on. Yeah, you missed that disable, you fluffy fuck. Oh, thank God for that. Alright. Everyone got some XP there. That actually took some effort. Alright, how many I've missed a trainer, haven't I, technically? Don't worry, I'm gonna go back. I'm not missing stuff out. Okay, alright, cool. So Spider Queen, if you're still there, have you played Pokemon? Do you have a favorite Pokemon? Do you have a favorite generation? Mine is Charmander. And I think my favorite generation is probably 3. Ruby Sapphire. Gen 3. Right, we'll heal and go back to those trainers. Totodile, solid pick, solid pick. At least it's not. At least I didn't have to, you know, do the whole. Do you like Mudkips? Because that's an old meme. Totodile is a pretty good choice though. It's definitely was the it was Cyndaquil, wasn't it? That was the fire Pokemon on that starter selection. Cyndaquil was not good. What? Oh, I legitimately know someone who would take that as fighting words. Right, 2 seconds. Let me get. I think I've literally downloaded every single animated sprite that I could find, and I ended up with too many is the answer. Too many. Like thousands. Baby Croc, yeah. Baby Crocs are pretty adorable. How can you not say that this is not cute though? This is coming up. Can you see this? I believe you can. How can you say that's not cute? That is cute. That is cute. All Pokemon are derpy. There is literally a Pokemon that is an ice cream. Oh, I don't want to be doing that. That's... Yeah, we'll get rid of that before I start destroying my my overlay. I sort of know what you mean. It's a bit vacant looking. That's very true. I'll do that now. What have we got? Of a Butterfree. I'll do that now while I've got my insane list up. Right, what do we want? What do we want? We want... Where's the GIF? There we go. Should look good. There we go. Well, I'll get through these last 2 trainers, and then we shall try and figure. Oh god, this is confused. We will try and figure out what we want from that bit of grass. Just to sort of give you a rundown, Spider. I don't know if you know what Nuzlocke is, but it's sort of an expanded rule set to make it a bit harder to play the game. So I can only catch the first Pokemon that appears for me when I go into grass or whatever the area is. And if my Pokemon faints, then it is effectively dead and I can no longer use it. I have to nickname them. Now you will notice that Squirtle is not nicknamed because I pressed the wrong button. I'm not allowed to use any battle items like X Defense, but I can use healing items like Potion and Antidote. And I'm the other sort of unwritten rule is that I am to use Pokemon Centers sparingly. This is why we need a Spearow. Jesus Christ. And yes, that was a war cry, by the way, that noise I made. That wasn't a whimper of any capacity. It was definitely a war cry. Well, we got multiple levels there. So we got Ratatata or EE at level 10, Squirtle at 15. Man, fuck Spearow. Jesus. What I need to do is do that. Get some XP for Warbeck there. Sitting at the bottom. Very quiet. Right. Last one is here. Yeah. Yeah. I have nothing that can deal with a Spearow. Oh, I must be done now, right? Have I done all the trainers now? Was it just the one that I missed? Okay, right, we're done. Okay, I'm gonna heal quickly, and I am just gonna very quickly run to the bathroom, and I should be back in a minute or two. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hello, Monra. How are you? How is your night going? Or how's your week been going? Zero, I do have Pokeballs. I think I've got a good few. Because I bought some when we finished. Well, basically when we started. Why have I done that? I always do that. I've done it again. For the love of God. Yes, I have 5 Pokeballs. We're alright for Pokeballs. Oh? How so, Monra? Right. Now, if I remember correctly, we've got the chance of getting a Spearow, a Pidgey, a Nidoran, a Mankey, and something else. I believe those are... Oh dear. That's not good, Mara. Is it buff? Is it buff? Nidoran. That is shit, Mara. It's very sad. Right. Let's see what we get. Go on, Nidoran. Poison Sting's not going to work on him. You never know though, Monroe, with collars, because there's so many. I think I'll go. I'll go OE then, and just. I don't really know how to attack this really. Just a tackle. The tackle be enough. But yeah, I see so many dogs. Well, less so dogs, but definitely cats without any collars. I think I'll go for the Pokeball now, right? Because if I try and hit anything else, it's done for. Yes, I see so many cats around here that have no collars, and a lot of them seem a bit waifish, and like they have like some sort of weird leg thing, or like they've got like a bung eye. It's insane how little people seem to care about their animals. We got Nidoran. Yes. There you go, Zero. You get the Nidoran. I'm alright to get to the poker center. Right, we've got two choices now. We can go into Mount Moon, or we can do my try and convert my long list of games into a short list. What would you prefer? I can stream for a little bit longer tonight, so it's not too much an issue, but I'm not entirely sure how long the shortening is going to take. Yeah, let's get to the list. Yeah, it's taken so fucking long. If you can remember that I started putting games into that list on just the week of E3. So it's at least 2 weeks ago. Which one's the Magikarp? Does this class, if anyone who knows the Nuzlocke rules, does this class as a roots Pokemon, or is this separate? Route 4. What are the Pokemon in Route 4 that I could get? Let's have a look. So it's, if I'm looking at this correctly, I can either get the Magikarp, or I can get a Spearow, Ekans, or Mankey. Just trying to think what would have more benefit, really. I assume that I'd probably get a Tentacool at a different place, right? But I guess that's assuming there's not something else in that place where the Tentacool is. I could rather, that could be a better choice. Like I have a choice. I tell you what, we'll leave this decision until next time. Good, at least I can go back into it. No, okay. So we shall save. Yes. And I'll quickly get the list ready. Okay. That sounds fancy. I don't know if I can actually do that just yet. 2 seconds. I shall have a look. I think Paul's an affiliate thing. I'm not that privileged just yet, sadly. I need a gazillion more follows. Also, by the way, if you're not following me, please follow me. It helps greatly. Is that all it takes? Do I just need to ask and it happens? Thank you, Spider Queen, for the follow. It is much appreciated. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and I hope you come back at some point. Oh, this music's got a bit mental in it. We'll turn that down a little bit. Good lord. Right, we'll put this controller down because it is not needed. Okay. Okay. So now browser windows an absolute pain in the ass. Right. All right. Ooh, that's a little bit off, but it's all right. It's not too bad. Let's get the edges in. All right. Okay. Good lord. You've seen my all my back end tricks to get things working here. There we are. That'll do. Jesus. I'm not happy with it. Just messing around with this is going to take ages. Right, there we go. That'll do. Alright. This has been the culmination of nearly 3 weeks of me trying to shoehorn it into every single stream that I've done. It has been a challenge. It really has. But we are finally here. And after about 50 games and me adding another 10 off stream because I realized that I hadn't covered any of the last 5 years, we are finally here. We are finally here. We've got 60 games. We need to get them down to 20. And then on Sunday, them 20 games will become the top 10. Now, you will probably realize that there is some glaring black holes there in terms of franchises. It's because I don't spend a lot of time playing games, sadly. I need to rectify that. There's things like BioShock that isn't in there. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 yet. I haven't played God of War in any capacity. I still need to finish Uncharted. I still need to play The Last of Us, because good lord, any of them. But yes, we are going to do the top 10 based on the games that I have played that I think are worthy of that. So let's get into it, yeah? So, first game. Is it pixelated for everyone? Ugh. 2 seconds, because it's annoying me. We will get there eventually. The messing around this is taken. Right, what we'll do is we will make it the size it's supposed to be, and then we will drag it down so it actually scales properly. Right, that'll do. That'll do. I can't mess around with this anymore. This is taking the piss. Right, okay. This is fine. You can see. You can see. I can see. It's all good. Right, so first game, Advance Wars. Quite possibly one of my most favorite Game Boy Advance games. Great turn-based strategy game. Really good variety. Is it one of my top 10 or top 20? It's not. It's not. I'm afraid it's a no. Now, Alan Wake. Alan Wake is a very, very good, what would be the best descriptor of that game? Action, adventure, horror game. Some really good mechanics. The whole torchlight mechanic was a very good touch. Really weird story. Also, I played the first sort of 10 minutes of Control, which is made by the same company, and Warbeck has already told me that there's sort of like it's set in the same universe. That sounds fucking glorious. But is it in my top 20? I think it might be. I think it might be. Now, right, we'll go through these Assassin's Creeds very, very quickly. So, 2 is a yes. 1 is a no. Black Flag is a no. Origins is a no. Brotherhood. Oh no, 2 seconds. Black Flag is a yes. Brotherhood is a no. And Revelations is a no. Am I happy with that? Yes. Yes, I'm happy with that. So, Battlefield 3. One of my most favorite FPSs of all time. It's very much a toss-up between that and Modern Warfare 2. But I preferred the larger scale maps in Battlefield. I enjoyed the vehicle combat a great deal. I enjoyed that they put a little bit more physics into their sniper rifles, where it had bullet drop, so you would have to deal with that. Battlefield 3 is a yes. Modern Warfare is a nope. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Now, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is a game that I very regularly say that is one of the best games that I have ever played. So that is an instant yes. Generals, no. CTR, great game, no. Crazy Taxi, no. Day of the Tentacle, yes. Day of the Tentacle is my most favorite point and click game ever, and I really do enjoy point and clicks. Deponia is a newer point and click game. It got all of the the great sort of humor and soul of a game like Day of the Tentacle and Curse of Monkey Island? Does it deserve to be in the same level as Day of the Tentacle? No. Driver, great game. I still reckon that Driver was one of the main inspirations of GTA gone 3D. I think that is probably a dead cert, and I think the driving mechanics that they put into GTA were also completely inspired by Driver. Is it good enough to be in our top 20? No. Eternal Sonata, one of the best JRPGs that I've ever played. It's very good. Very good game. I think I talked about... I can't remember who I was talking about that to, actually. I can't remember what stream it was. So basically, the premise of Eternal Sonata is that it is set in the dream world of a classical composer who is in a coma, and everything's sort of musically themed. So a lot of the attacks are musically themed, all the weapons are musically themed. The world is great, the dungeons are great. Is it in my top 20? I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not sure. F-Zero, the first ever racing game that I ever played back when I was 4 years old. Music is glorious. So much nostalgia for that game, playing with my sister. Is it one of the best racing games I've ever played, though? Oh, this is hard. This is so hard. This is so hard. Right, I'm gonna have to leave F-Zero as well for now. Alright, let's jump to Fallout 3. I love Fallout 3 at the time. Even, I mean, it had some glaring issues, but I loved the world. I loved the atmosphere. The music was great. The story was very good. It wasn't brilliant, but it was good enough. There were some weird moments in there. Weird locations. Some really cool locations though. Is it my favorite Western RPG though? You have to put in mind, by the way, that I have played probably about 5 hours of Skyrim, so I have nothing to compare in terms of other Western RPGs really, other than maybe like a Star Wars game. Is Fallout 3 better than the Old Republic in terms of its RPG elements? Heck, is it better than Stick of Truth? I'm gonna say no. Right, Final Fantasy, as you may know, I only finished this game in the last month, for the first time ever. It took me from it took me from March 16th, which was the date of my very first stream, up until the first week of June to complete that game. Streaming basically 2 hours a night, 3 days a week for the entirety of that time. And I fucking loved it. And it's going to be in the top 20. Glorious, glorious game. Mechanics weren't... Surface level mechanics of that game are very simple. The materia added so much depth to that game that the amount of customizability that you can earn in that game is insane. The story... Jesus, the story. I need to make a video about that. I need to set aside a stream just talking about Final Fantasy VII, going through all the story points, mostly the story, because there were so many great parts of that, so many heart-wrenching parts of that story, so many funny parts as well, really, as well. It's definitely in the top 20. Right, Ghost Recon. One of my... Yeah, I really enjoyed that shooter. A really good tactical third-person shooter. Great online experience, especially for the time on Xbox 360. It was so much better than playing Halo 3 at the time. But it's not in the top 20. And now we get to GTA 3, 3, 5 and Vice City. I've already mentioned that I think that Driver inspired GTA 3 quite a bit. I think GTA 3 ran off with it in so many ways. The story is pretty good, not great, but pretty good. The gunplay for the time was pretty good. Good car gameplay, and just having that sort of that level of open world at the time as well was really innovative. Is it a top 20 game for me? Is it better than Vice City? Is it better than GTA 5? Alright. I'm gonna do this. Although I love them, my experience with GTA 5 was just so much better. It probably doesn't help that it's more recent as well. I only finished that game about 2.5 months ago, and the story had its problems, but the set pieces in that game and the amount of stuff that you can do in that world, and how good it looks still 10 years after it came out is insane. They did such a good job with that game, and it's a testament really that everyone is still playing it. So yeah, that definitely is in the top 20. God, I forgot that I put this down, right? And so this game here is is Track and Field for the PlayStation 1. The reason why that's in there is because I spent so much time playing that game with my friends. So much time. Like, we would even try and devise certain tactics to try and get... So what you had to do, obviously, because it's a track and field game, is that you would have 2 buttons that you would have to press as fast as possible, one after the other. And that was how you went faster, or rode faster, or ran faster. So we try and think of different ways to try and get that action as fast as possible. And the way that the tactic that we settled on was getting a battery and using it on the 2 buttons and just sort of like just scratching it back and forth against the 2 buttons as fast as possible. I don't even think this was faster. In fact, I can very much assume that it was not faster, and we destroyed so many controllers doing that. But yeah, is it a top 20 game in terms of the caliber of the other games? It's not. It really isn't. Right, Zelda Minish Cap, the only Zelda game that I've actually finished. Brilliant game. It's 2 seconds, I need a drink. Right, okay. I'll talk about that a little bit, TC. So the problem with the way that I play games is that I tend to jump in and out of games quite a bit. So I might play like 3 or 4 hours of a game and then leave it and then come back to it again and play the same 4 or 5 hours again. And I never feel like I can get a good enough experience from a game that way to actually have like a solid opinion on whether I can actually judge it in this type of way. So I would have to sit and play the entirety of the game and then have an actual think about it. That's the only reason why there isn't a lot of platformers on here, because platformers tend to be the types of games that I will jump in and out of intermittently and not gain a great deal of, but like a very well-defined sort of a well-defined, what is the word I'm trying to think of? I just what I've got tongue-tied. But yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful to the game by not being able to give a well-rounded opinion of a well-defined opinion of the game. So that's why there isn't a lot of platformers on here, and it's definitely one of my goals to play more 2D platformers along with everything else, really, because there is a massive black hole in my gaming repertoire that needs filled desperately. Yes, Zelda Minish Cap, the only Zelda game that I've ever completed. That game, along with a lot of these Game Boy Advance games, are served well by the fact that the graphics have aged so nicely. Now, if you look at a Game Boy Advance game, especially those sort of 16-bit-esque, what I would call Super Nintendo top-down games, they all look great. They still look really good, like really, really good. Especially when you compare it to like a PlayStation 1 game that looks awful. Right, so Zelda, really good game. Had some really, really interesting mechanics with the cap that I was not expecting, because I'd never seen anything about the game. It not too hard, not too easy. Good story, a really good story. There was quite a good little twist in it. Is it in my top 20? Yes. Right, Mario Kart 64. We'll go through these Mario Kart games quite quickly. 64, first Mario, obviously. Oh, I was gonna say first Mario Kart game that I ever played, but it's not. I played the original on the SNES. But I played 64 way more. Is it the best Mario Kart game? No. Is Super Circuit the best one? No. Double Dash is definitely the best, and that definitely gets put into that category. We'll go back to Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter was fucking glorious. Such a good game. The only bad thing about that game that I can really put into words is Daxter, and if the rest of the series doesn't have him in very much, so everything else I can't really say a bad thing about. Great music. It was one of the first platformers that had essentially I think it had one loading screen throughout the whole world, throughout all of the levels. It had one loading screen, and that was it. Had a day-night cycle. The platformer was really good. You had a good set of skills that you could use. There was a good variety of enemies. It goes in the top 20. It's one of the best 3D platformers going, in my opinion. Medieval, another pretty good. What would Medieval's like a action adventure / little bit of platforming. Really good game. I think I mentioned this last time. This was the first game that I ever played on a PlayStation 1 demo disc. And I played that demo far too much. And then my sister got the game, and I was around their house far too much playing that game. Does it go in top 20? No. Very good game, but no. Need for Speed Underground. Ooh. Right. Need for Speed Underground for me was probably the best PS2 racing game. I prefer more arcade. Yes. So, I'm having to acknowledge the comments, obviously. Not so much to defend myself, but to defend myself. So, when I was sort of looking through this list, and especially adding the newer games that I have played, I noticed that I haven't played very many games in the last sort of 5 years, like new releases. There's maybe new releases, and again, I fell victim to that whole dropping into a game every now and then, playing a little bit of it, and then just leaving it be. So you'll notice that in terms of more modern games, at least from the last 5 years, there's, where we're looking, Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, and Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm guessing they're the only two from the last half a decade. And purely, mate, that's down to having kids and just not feeling like I have enough time to game. And it's just to go sort of behind the scenes, the reason why I wanted to start streaming, other than getting a little bit more confidence speaking on the mic, is I wanted to make sure that that when I was streaming, I was also committing to playing more games, because it gave me a reason to play them. Whereas before, I'd probably put it to the wayside to do other stuff like catch up on reading, or I don't know, do some art, and feeling like I didn't have enough time. What I've realized is that from streaming the 4.5 to 6 hours a week that I do, I probably have way more time than I give myself credit for, and I'm probably wasting a lot of time. But it's given me a good kick up the ass, because now I'm actually using my time a bit better, and I'm actually completing games, and I'm doing a lot more. I'm thinking a lot more about the games that I want to play in the future, even if they're not old games, but games from the last sort of four to, I'd say probably 4 to 10 years. I think it's probably not half a decade. It's probably more like a decade that I haven't really played a lot of games. You will notice that a lot of these would be from my sort of childhood and teenage years, and that's why it's sort of nostalgia heavy. So that's my reasoning for there not being a lot of other games in there. Also, you have to put in consideration that I played a shit ton of World of Warcraft during that time, and would just push every other game out of the way to play World of Warcraft. But also, I played a lot of League of Legends, which I'm not putting on this because I despise that fucking game with such a raging passion that it's never getting on a list like this, ever. There's the reason why Star Wars The Old Republic's on here as well, because I put days and days into that game as well. But yeah, that's... yes. Wow, yep. So I was explaining to OAE before, well, the other day, that my main character in World of Warcraft has near enough 50 days played, and that character wasn't my main for free expansions. Basically, I would hazard to say that over time I've probably put 150 to 200 days into that game. So if you say 175 times 24, yeah, probably a bit more than that actually. It's gone on for around about 5,000 hours that I've put into that game at least. It's a lot of time. And I probably put half of that into Old Republic also, because I played that solidly for a year and a half. I also played Guild Wars 2. I played a bit of Black Desert Online. I played a bit of Rift. Actually, I did a fair bit of Rift because I actually got server first on a few of the raids in Rift. I played Warhammer Online. I played Age of Conan, Tabula Rasa. So yes, MMOs, the time killer, is probably the underlining outcome of that. But yeah, we'll go back to Need for Speed Underground. And as I say, I'm going to try and sort of rectify this. I was going to do some sort of I need some sort of way to do. You know what? I probably could have I probably could have predicted that Eve would have been your game, Tornado. I don't know why. It just seems like it would be your game of choice. So heavily sci-fi based, a lot of math. A lot of like political intrigue in that game in the player base, really. I love reading about the stories from Eve. They're insane, some of them. I think at one point in my WoW history, I had a dozen max level characters. Probably not 9. I think I had 9 at one point. 9 or 10. Yeah, 9 or 10. Oh wow, nice. I could right, so I can sum up my experience with EVE Online in around about a minute. I downloaded the free trial. I was dumped into a tutorial where it was learning me how to mine. I wandered off to some sort of Stargate thing, got ported somewhere, and didn't know how to get back. But I started wandering around that sort of sector and didn't know where I was or how I got back, and that was the entirety. That was the entirety of my EVE Online experience. I was a very impatient teenager. I literally remember thinking, "Oh fuck this! I'm gonna go back and play WoW." That was my experience with EVE. Ooh. Oh yeah. Right. Where were we? Need for Speed Underground 2. So. Sorry, I'm reading what TC's saying. That's pretty impressive in EVE TC. I know what you mean. I got really into gold making at the start of Battle for Azeroth, the previous expansion for a while. And you just think like, I wish I could do this like on stocks or something, because it's so easy to make money on this in this game. It'd be nice if you could translate to real life. Right, yeah. So Need for Speed was my most favorite PS2 driving game. The reason for that is driving games for me, I prefer more arcade based ones. That's why I prefer Horizon, Forza Horizon over Forza Motorsport, because Horizon just has way more arcadey aspects to it that I enjoy. And when you're thinking of arcadey sort of game types and like weird things that you can do in a racing game, Underground 2 was so good. Some of the race types are really good. Like you could do the drag races and the circuits and the drift races, and you could customize your cars so much, and the roster of cars were really good. And the fact that I was in like a fairly big open world map as well was really cool. Also the music was great. But Should it be in the top 20? I don't have any racing games in my top 20, and racing games are it can be some of my favorite games if I put enough time into it. So I'm going to put it in the top 20 for now. Right, now. Pokemon. Right. So out of these 4, I can probably ditch 2 of them fairly easily. I really enjoyed Yellow, and I really enjoyed Silver, but Red and Sapphire are my 2 favorites. My favorite generation is Gen 3. But Red has so much nostalgia for me. It's the game that I decided to try and do a speed run with. Okay, we're gonna do. I'm not 100% sure about that. All right, but I suppose they do that. They do that now in. You can sort of do that in WoW now. TC, you can buy WoW tokens for like £10 a piece, and you can then sell them on the in-game auction house for in-game currency. Plausible Zero, very plausible. I don't doubt it. With they seem to have put way more stuff into it. Where they put a lot of the mechanics from what I remember in Sapphire, and probably a few more into Firered, didn't they? So I will probably end up enjoying Firered more. What I'll have to do at some point, whether it's in my own time, is just do a normal run of Firered and see how much I like it. Obviously, Nuzlocke is a bit different. It's not the way that you would normally play, is it? I guess you're just making it a little bit difficult for yourself, so you're probably not. It's not too far away from the norm. It's not like I'm doing full-on hardcore, is it? But yeah, Sapphire in the top 20. Right, how many games we got there? 5, 11, 13. And we've got 13, 19, 22, 24. Right, is there any easy ones that I can dump? Right, Star Fox was a great game. My first ever SNES game, but it's not good enough. Super Mario Land 2, awesome game. Awesome 2D platformer, not good enough. Tarzan, also great 3D platformer. Yes, Toy Story 2 also. Tekken 3, also great. Street Fighter 2. I have to leave that there. Here Comes the Pain is a yes. $1,000 worth of... Oh, nice. That's how much I wasted. Time I wasted in that game. I'd say you should have traded it out, but I guess if it's the entirety of your assets in the game, you probably don't want to do that, right? Right, what other ones can I get rid of? Phantom Menace. Great game, but it's not in the top 20. Theme Park World, really awesome game, awesome game. Right, now, I'm just going to move this. Can I move this closer to here? No, typical. 2 Point Hospital is a spiritual successor to Theme Hospital. I think that 2 Point Hospital also builds on top of Field Hospital and improves on it vastly. That goes in the top 20. Theme Hospital does not. It feels its age. All right. Okay. So okay. Definitely not. No, you don't want to lose your account. No. I suppose it means you can control the economy a bit better that way as well, right? Well, I say that. Do they even control it that much? I know they have. Don't they hire economists literally on staff to deal with the in-game economy? Right. Let's go Mario games now. Easy enough. My favorite is Sunshine. So Sunshine gets put in the top 20. Warzone does not. Spider-Man. Top 20. Now I'm gonna. I fully expect there to be more than 20 games in the green section before we finish, and I'm going to have to get rid of some of them. Right, Red Dead Redemption, yes. Stick of Truth, no. World of Warcraft, yes. Old Republic, no. Tony Hawk's, no. Ratchet and Clank, no. Street Fighter, yes. F-Zero, no. Eternal Sonata, no. Right, how many games do we have in the top 20? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oh, we have 20. Okay. Am I happy with that? Good God, this is hard. Alright. I think I'm actually happy with that. I don't think I need to do another pass through them. The top 10 is going to be awful. Okay. Right. It's a very yeah. I think most people would be like, what the fuck you got that on your top 10? your top 20 list? I'm like, eh. It's subjective, isn't it? It's a very varied list, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I think I can deal with that. It's not too bad. Very true, Warbeck. Very true. Now, I guess given that I don't need to finish just yet. Do we go straight at the top 10? Should we? Okay. Yeah, we'll go for it. Right, I just need to quickly create another list, another tier list, and then we shall go for it. I'll just I'll just switch my screen to the brick screen for a second. You think I should get down to 15? Really? Okay. Alright. We'll come back. 15. Has anyone else got opinion on it? I'll take democracy vote. Should we go for a top 15 first and try and whittle these down? Get rid of 5 more. Should we go straight for the top 10? I'm gonna have to make the top 10 list regardless. Alright. Rip off the band-aid. Okay. Alright, I'll just I'll make it now then. I'll just go to break. I am here though. I tell you what, you can, just because I've made it, you can look at my pretty overlay for the time being. I'd rather that you look at that. Get as many eyes on it. Because, you know, humble brag, I'm very proud of it. Right. Here we are. Oh god, this is gonna be hard, isn't it? It's gonna be a complete pain in the ass. Right. Well, I'm glad you've been the realist in the room for me, Monra. Thank you for that. All right, where do we start? What games in here are dead cert to my top 10? All right, okay. So the first one that is going to be dead cert for the top 10 is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Now, Brothers: A Tale, I've mentioned so many times that this is one of my favorite games ever. And it's very hard to explain. This is a bit better, Zero. Should I be alright now? Yes, it's very, very hard to explain why Brothers is one of my most favorite games without spoiling it, really. I guess I can really just have to sort of describe it. It is a puzzle-based adventure game in which you control both brothers at the same time, one with each analog stick if you're using a controller. You can also do it, I believe, cooperatively, where each player plays one brother each. The story is based around these two brothers going to get a plant that can be turned into a medicine to save their dying father, and that's essentially the catalyst of the story. That they are sent to go and get this plant, and they are sent across this sort of like really fantastical, magical world with like giant birds and actual giants, and yeah, a lot of things happen. A lot of emotion happens. The mechanics are directly linked to the story, which brings a lot of immersion, I thought, into the game. So yeah, it was, at the time when I played it, it was the best game that I had ever played in terms of how they married the story and the gameplay mechanics together, and how emotionally the sort of attached to each other. It was, I guess that's as much as I can say without spoiling it, but it is definitely in my top 10, no doubt about it. Right, so now we've got the easy one out the way. I haven't played Journey yet, TC. That looked really interesting. I saw a lot of gameplay of that. Obviously not. I didn't watch a let's play of it, but I saw bits and bob of it when it first came out, and I've seen bits of it since, and it looks really interesting. Right, do we have any other easy lock-ins? You know what, I think Final Fantasy at this point is probably a lock-in for me. It's probably a cliche choice at this point, but I guess I have the added excuse is an excuse that I played it very, very, very recently for the first time ever, and even though it came out in '97, it's a 24-year-old game. I believe the one that I played had a graphical uptick from about 10-15 years ago for the PC version, but it still holds up. The story is great. The translation's a bit wonky in places, but it's not a big deal. It is a reason, Zero. Very, very true. And yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before when I was putting it in the shortlist. Story is just it's so in depth, it's so emotive, in every way. It's sad, it's funny. There's like real parts like happiness in it, like where like elation, where you feel happy for what the characters are going through because you know all of the shit that they've been through throughout the 50 hours that you spent with them. Every character has their own arc, to different depths and different success on how it sort of plays out emotionally. But Barrett's story is great. Aerith's is fucking heartbreaking. Sid's is really good. Vincent was probably my least favorite. Red 13, his story and the sort of the twist in how he thought he had been abandoned by his father, and it was that he had actually died saving their entire town. Yuffie's story. I went to the. Did I unlock Yuffie's story? I believe so. I did the tower in her hometown, where she was basically trying to get the materia, to save the Leviathan, wasn't she? Is that correct? Have I just totally misremembered that story? Like, because I initially thought she was just a klepto who just wanted materia, but there was a reason why she wanted the materia to get back to her hometown for, wasn't there? I thought it was, yes, yeah. So that was pretty good. I think if that didn't hit on the right chord for me, that was probably my fault. I didn't enjoy that story as much as I enjoyed Barrett's and Red 13's. I think I preferred them to Cloud's stories. Just insane. I don't even know how to describe Cloud's story. But yeah, just the story throughout is just great. And this is just that these are like the arcs going through how they ended up being where they are. There's a lot of theming around sort of like trying to escape something to become something new. Barrett does that. He escapes Coral with Marlene to try and sort of do something good to as repentance for what happened in Coral. The whole reason of him doing Avalanche is because of hatred for Shinra, and this hatred for the reactors, and he wanted to make sure that could never happen again. So he tried to do something to rectify that. Obviously, it didn't go down as well because he ended up killing more people, destroying the reactor, and that's sort of a whole story in itself that is at the start of the game that I don't really want to spoil too much. But yeah, Barrett's is one of my favorite. And as I say, that the theming of like trying to escape their past to like try and evolve into something new, but then there's also like the sort of theming where they're like, you can't actually do that, and you have to go back into your past and not avoid it and like hit it head on. And you'd probably be surprised at the result of that. Like, that's what happened with Red 13. That's happened with Barrett. It happened with Sid as well, where he blamed his assistant for what happened. And then obviously he got up into the rocket. And he finds out that she was actually right all that time. And he had hated her. Or at least he had resented her for that much time for stopping him like effectively reaching his potential. Just so much good stuff in there. Just some really good stuff. And like, don't even get me started like the expansion of like the Barrett story when he finds Marlene's biological dad in that prison underneath Gold Saucer, and he kills himself, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, because you can't deal with it anymore. It's insane. And then it's like obviously the whole story of them dropping the top floor onto the sector and killing everyone there. Just it's such a dark game, but it interweaves like levity into it and like these real moments of elation that it's just a complete roller coaster throughout the whole thing. And I enjoyed every moment of it, even on stream, which I mean I've already sort of waxed lyrical a little bit about that, about how sometimes like when I'm streaming I don't feel like I'm taking in the story too much because I obviously have other things I have to do. I have to take notice of chats and take notice of like all these fucking audio things and drop frames and whether I'm live and my resources and everything, and making sure that I've got everything else set up and making sure that I'm also trying to be entertaining. And I still really enjoyed that game. So it's just a testament to how good it is. And I have talked far too much about fantasy. Clip it. That could make a good video. But yes, that is the reason why Final Fantasy VII is an easy lock-in for me. Ooh, I need a drink after that. It's very true. Very true, TC. Right. Let's move on to a different game now. If we do more FF chat, it has to be on a different stream because I want to finish this by the end. And I'm very aware that I probably don't have too much time left. I've got a little bit of time. All right, I can finish this. Right, so Alan Wake. Alan Wake was a really interesting game. I played this on the recommendation from Warbeck, and I sat in his bedroom and played it. Like, but how long ago is it now, Warbeck? 10, 11 years? Something like that. And I played the entirety of the base game. I think in one or two, I think it was 2 sittings. Really good game. Really, really, really good game. Story was really interesting. These that it's the only horror adjacent game that I've ever played, finished and enjoyed, because I am that much of a fucking wimp that I can't do horror games very well. I have an overactive imagination, so I end up having really bad nightmares after watching or playing horror stuff. It affects me far too much. Do I think it's going to be in my top 10? I don't think it will be, but I would definitely recommend that everyone plays Alan Wake and play Control as well, because I've heard some very good things about that as well. I want to play that before it goes off Game Pass, because that does look very interesting, and the fact that it is in the same universe as Alan Wake just makes it chef's kiss. Glorious, right? But it's staying where it is. Sure. Assassin's Creed game. I'm gonna say we'll get them soon, Monroe. For a little spoiler, at least one of them is going to be in the top 10. At least one of them. So I've put Assassin's Creed in my top 10. Ezio De Firenze is one of my most favorite gaming characters of all time. Can you hear me? I should be alright now. I moved it a little bit away because I thought it was being too loud. I'll keep it here. It should be all right now. Yes, so I've put Assassin's Creed there because Ezio is one of my most favorite characters of all time in gaming. It's weird how certain sort of personalities in games affect you. I gravitated to Ezio because his demeanor and personality was what I aspired to be like when I was a teenager, and I think that's why I gravitated to him a great deal. Like he was driven by his principles, and he made mistakes, but he learned from them. He knew what was important. He knew that family was important, and he knew that doing the right thing was important, even if you had to skirt the line a little bit to get what needed to be done. He also had that sort of mischievous, what I would describe as, which is a very British saying, but Jack the Lad type personality, which I always found what would be the like admirable. I like that type of personality. I feel like that sort of like cheeky chappy. I try to be like that. I don't know how well I pick. I don't know how well I'm like how good I am at it, but I do. Ezio as a character like made me want to be a better person, and I think that's why I gravitated to him. And that's why he's in the top 3, and that's why Black Flag's probably going to stay where it is. Not to obviously discredit the world of Assassin's Creed 2, because I went into it the other day when I was playing Jack and Daxter. The story coming from Assassin's Creed 1 into 2 was great. Like the build up of the modern day stuff in 1, up to the point where you had the eagle sight at the end of 1, and then obviously at the start of 2 where you're like, okay, we need to get out of Abstergo and leave, and then all of the modern day stuff expanded out so much, but it also tied in so well into what was happening with Ezio and like his story, that all of the shit that Ezio went through, like having to see his brothers and his dad get executed, and then having to look after his sister and his little brother and his mum when they moved to the village that I can never remember the name of, and then obviously making sure that I enjoyed how his story over the 3 games, but definitely in 2, went from being a very cliche story of revenge into redemption from that revenge, and then into like the culmination of like going back and making sure that he sort of rounded the circle properly and did what he thought his duty was at the end of Revelations, like what he needed to do in order to ensure the existence of the Assassin Order as an entity to fight against the Templars was just a great full story, a full arc that ended really well. And 2 probably did the most in terms of that, to like push it and get the catalyst. It made you enjoy this character, that you stayed with him for another two games. It made him that lovable character within the universe of Assassin's Creed, and it helped that it improved the gameplay so much from 1 to 2. The increased those set pieces. There was like different stuff with the Da Vinci inventions, where you had like the glider, and even having like obviously all of the real world characters in there, like Da Vinci and La Volpe and Machiavelli and Caterina, is it Sforza, and obviously Rodrigo Borgia, and then the Borgias were obviously in the other games. It was just, and how they incorporated them into the story was really well done, and also the incorporation of the subject 16 stuff, in as like glitches in the Animus was awesome. So yes, I think Assassin's Creed definitely gets to be there. It's definitely in the top 10. Okay, so what next? What else can go into the top 10? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, so Spider-Man's probably, at least in terms of modern games, it is definitely my most favorite, probably of the last 10, for the last 5 or 6 years. It's the best game that I've played. Just fucking awesome. Like, Spider-Man already is such a good character, but what they achieved in that game was fucking spectacular. It told a different story that we get in normal mainstream comic book movies, especially Spider-Man. All of the Spider-Man films tend to be revolving around like him being a bit of a fucking klutz, and him being sort of in that sort of like cappuccino years of like late teens, early 20s, and being fucking awkward. And he still has the moments in that game, but he's a lot more well-rounded when you first meet him. He's not he's a like an apprentice, an intern for I can't remember Doc Ock's real name, but Doc Ock. And he seems a bit more sort of settled into life, and it just tells a different story. It goes more into, rather than doing the normal with great power comes great responsibility, it tells the story of what you do once you've got the responsibility and whether you can handle it. I thought, like, it having to deal with Kingpin and Mr. Negative and God knows what fucking other thing, and then all of the, what do you call that sort of private security firm that I'm completely blanking on now, having to deal with all that while also like trying to like get through life normally and trying to do the balance, and like feeling like you can't do it all at the same time. And yeah, I thought it was a really good story. There was some really good moments in there as well about like having to choose over Otto Octavius, thank you, Otto. Having to choose over being the hero to the masses that everyone expects you to be, or being a normal person and being selfish, and having every fiber of your being wanting to make that selfish decision, but knowing that you can't. That the end of that game was just so good. It was just so good. And it sort of it was counterbalanced with the story that was told about Otto Octavius as well, where he at every moment, because of jealousy or because of feeling inadequate, took the selfish choice every single time, whereas Peter couldn't do that. He wanted to. He wanted to take a selfish choice, but he could not bring himself to do it. And that's sort of like another sort of, it's part of the hero story, like making the sacrifice, even though you want every part of you wants to not do that sacrificial thing, and do the thing that would benefit you completely. So yeah, the story of Spider-Man was fucking glorious. It, never mind, I mean, the gameplay was great. The swinging, the movement in that game just felt so good that you could just sit and swing about for like a good 10 minutes at the start of every session and be perfectly happy. It just felt really nice. There was a very good upgrade system, multiple upgrade systems actually, that worked really well. The combat was really slick. It felt heavy. It felt like it had some meat to it. It didn't feel like you were like slapping a wet bag when you like kick someone in the head. It like the camera angles and the dual shock. I was obviously playing on PS4. It just all combined really well. So yeah, that, and the way that the made New York City was fucking glorious. It looked amazing. Yeah, that's Spider-Man. I'm gonna run out of water. This is doing a number on my throat. Alright. I don't think I'm putting Battlefield 3 in there. Right. I'm gonna do quick fire and just get them in there, because if I am confident about the next 3, but Christ. Right, okay. Okay. Let's start with Red Dead Redemption. Now, Red Dead Redemption, John Marston is another one of my favorite characters of all time. It's definitely not for the same reasons as Ezio. 2 seconds, I'm just messing around with my microphone. John Marston's story is a fucking tragedy. It is a complete tragedy, and I'm not gonna lie. You saw it coming probably from about, well, I mean, I was a stupid kid when I played it, but I probably saw it coming at the halfway mark that it was gonna end the way that it did. But yeah, just such a great character, like very stoic, wanting to do the right thing for his family and being thwarted at every fucking opportunity, either by the people that he was interacting with or the fucking feds or old acquaintances. Just such a good story. Just such, I need to play that game again to full on get the story back in my head, but I remember it being fucking great. The world was gigantic, and I played so much of the online as well. It was just so much fun. It was a GTA game in the Wild West. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, really. Yeah, I don't really have very much more to say about that. And that's probably mostly to do with the fact that I know I'm going to be spending a lot of time playing, talking about the next game. Right. I tell you what, I shall do that game. Right, now, I don't know how many, well, I think most people here know about my love of wrestling, and Here Comes the Pain is the greatest wrestling game ever made, bar none. 2 seconds. Nice. Okay. So obviously there's not a great deal to a wrestling game. I'm having doubts. 2 seconds. No, we're all right. We're fine. But you can get a lot of replay value out of a wrestling game, and I got so much fucking replay value out of that. There was so much to do in that game. The customized character was so in depth that you could make literally any wrestler you could think of, whether they were in the game or not. You could do it with the I'm trying. Yeah, I'm definitely having to think about it, Monroe. Okay. Okay. We'll talk about Warcraft, and I'll think. Yes, definitely. Yeah, true. All right. So I'll talk about Warcraft. Right. Now, I have on and off played Warcraft for... Yeah, I know what you mean, Monroe. I know what you mean. I think you're right. Yes, I have on and off played Warcraft for 14 and a half years. Yeah, 14 and a half years now. And... Good lord. Right, okay. So... Warcraft was definitely the first MMO that I played, and the reason why it sort of took me in as well as it did was a lot to do with the people that I met playing that game. So many fucking weird and wonderful characters, but the gameplay was also really good at the same time. It was a very polished game, very, very polished game. It did everything it needed to right. And it did it really, really, really well, especially moving forward as you went through into Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. It expanded out on certain systems and improved on them throughout. It had a multiplayer experience that I will probably never ever duplicate. I will never get that experience again in any other game, and I will never get in after playing Classic for a while. I don't think I can get it again in the same game. It was a time and moment thing, and that the community that I was a part of, either in sort of guilds and stuff or in the wider community, like the server, was just it was just fucking mental. The stories that I was told or that I experienced in that game I will remember for the rest of my life, and some of them are absolutely horrendous. Some of them are sickening. But some of them are just hilarious, and I remember. The thing with World of Warcraft is when you play a game like Final Fantasy, you remember the cast of characters that are given to you. You remember the Clouds and the Tifa's and the Barretts and the Sephiroths and the Heideggers and all that. When you play something like World of Warcraft, you don't give a fuck about the NPC characters. The characters that you remember are the people that you play with, the people that you hear of, the people that you see, the people that you fight. Either in a PvP game or shouting at them on fucking Discord because they don't know how to play their class properly. But you remember it all, good and bad. And it's something that I'll never be able to replicate in my life. The amount of shouting matches that I had with people, the amount of people who would bitch about each other, the literal fucking literal cheating that would go on between partners in the same guilds, and it would be constant drama surrounding the game, but it would be like you were living in an online community that felt like it was around you all the time. It was really mental, and that was coupled on with some of the best classes in MMO that I've played, the most well-rounded ones, the ones that that married the skill set and the class fantasy really well. I think that things like the paladin and the shaman and the druid were just fucking glorious with what they were able to do for just feeling like you're actually playing something different. Like the paladin was glorious. It's this warrior of light that you could play with a giant fucking sword that would be glowing, or you could play with a giant shield and you'd be like casting like blessings upon yourself and running in and or healing. I did a lot of healing with a paladin. I played shaman and sort of like the master of the elements was great, and like druid being that sort of like the guardian of nature and like being able to call upon its power to aid you. It was great. And like there was progression systems that you could do little bits with. I mean, it wasn't anything like a Path of Exile or anything like that, but it sufficed enough that you could do little weird builds every now and then that you could have some fun with. Or what version? Burning Crusade. I didn't play classic of vanilla enough to make it that I can put it in the top 10. Wrath of the Lich King, the first half of Wrath of the Lich King was fucking glorious. The second half of it was a disappointment. I loved the initial part of Wrath of the Lich King. I loved the leveling experience with Wrath of the Lich King. I really enjoyed how intertwined Arthas was in the leveling experience. It worked really well. He was in every zone in some aspect, and he felt like he was a constant threat throughout that. Gone into Naxxramas was great, and again he was in Naxxramas, like issuing orders, and it was glorious. Ulduar is probably the best raid that they've ever put out. Oh, okay. All right. I didn't realize you were like, I thought you were doing it modularly, if you get what I mean. So I didn't realize you were like doing it so that they build on top of each other. In that case, I'd probably say Wrath of the Lich King and before is probably I really didn't, and I didn't like choices that they made. What's it called? What was the name of that fucking place? It was 9 point, not 9. It would have been 4.2 or 3. The patch after Ulduar but before Ice Crown. The Crusader place where you did the arena raid. They put all of the stuff then and after that ruined the game for me, to be honest. The fact that you could buy raid level gear by doing 5-mans pissed me right off. And then them adding the dungeon finder that essentially killed a good chunk of the community aspect of the game dead in its track purely for convenience, when it wasn't even that hard to get groups anywhere. Yeah, Cataclysm was the one after, Wrath of the Lich King. So yeah, there's a lot of things in Wrath of the Lich King that I absolutely detested what they did near in the second half of that expansion cycle, but the first half was fucking glorious, and I still had fun in that second half, but it felt like it was cheating. And the reason for that is because when they did the Throne of the Crusader, is it Trial of the Crusader, sorry, when they put that patch in, they put that 5-man in, and that 5-man, some of the gear in there negated having to do Nax or Ulduar. And then they did it again with the Ice Crown patch, where they added those 3 5-mans, and that gear negated having to do definitely Ulduar and some of the Trial of the Crusader raids. And that the change in design philosophy to make previous content redundant, I think, was the first nail in the coffin of that game, and it hasn't been able to get out of that pit of despair since. It's been trying to escape it for the last 12 years, and it can't get out of it because they made a rod for their own back by doing that. A lot of the replay value and a lot of the reason people played World of Warcraft is because it had a lot of replay value. You could have an alt, you could level it up, and you could still get the same progression experiences you did with your original character. And that was the game. That progression was the game. It was gone into normal 5-mans, getting your dungeon set, then being able to get, if you can, get Bis dungeon, get a few bits of PvP gear, like your PvP weapon at 1800 rating, and then gone into, for instance, I've been a Crusade, gone into Karazhan, doing the Karazhan content, then going to do Groll, getting that, and then having that gear that you could get from there to be able to then go into tier 4 content, tier 5 content, and do SSC and Tempest Keep, and that was the progression. The problem is, in Wrath of the Lich King, they had that. They had the get your dungeon set, go into Nax. You can do Nax at 10 or 25. Then you can do Malagos. Then you can do Salfarian. And then if you've got the gear from the 10-mans of all that, you could then, when the patch for Ulduar came out, you could do 10-man Ulduar. But when Trial of the Crusader came out, they broke that progression. It went, oh, you can just go and do Trial of the Crusader, get gear that negates the ability to do Nax, and then you can just walk in and makes Ulduar easier than it was. So then you can just walk through Ulduar, get all the gear, and then you're ready for the new content. And they've been doing that since. They've been pushing people to do the newest content while completely disregarding and devaluing all of the previous content for no reason. And then they wonder why people play the game for a week and then leave it. I'm not even going to get into what they've been doing recently, but if even though I haven't played this game nearly, when was the last time I played it? I played for a week in the summer last year, and then before that I played a couple of weeks of when Classic came out, and that's it. I've played maybe a month in the last 2.5 years, and I still have this amount of passion for the game. For that reason alone, I think it needs to be in my top 10. If they made that game better, and they changed the design philosophy and went back to the way it was in Burning Crusade and for the first half of Wrath of the Lich King, I would play that game and I would still be playing that game now. But they didn't. They fucking ruined it. So yes, Wrath of the Lich King. That's the version that's in my top 10. Oh Christ. Okay, I need a drink after that. Right. I need to talk about Grand Theft Auto, and then I need to figure out the other three. Right, so Grand Theft Auto is probably one of the first games that I've played where I have disliked all of the main characters and still loved the game. Because Grand Theft Auto 5 is a game where loving to hate them is the entire point of the fucking story. Story's good. Story has some nice twists and turns. It's pretty basic. I don't think you play Grand Theft Auto really for the story. You play it for the world. And that world, that Los Santos world, and then the sort of countryside around it, or to the north, really. It's brilliant. There's just so much to do. There's so much to do even without having to do any of like the missions. You can just run around and find shit to do, which has been proved with the success of GTA Online. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say that Grand Theft Auto 5 for me is probably the best open world that has been made. Whether it's that down to just that, like the sheer scope of it and all of the activities that you can do, but also the amount of detail they put into it. Like, it feels populated. The fact that you can see the tarmac and everything for a game that came out fucking 9 years ago, it still looks really good. And the story, you can still get invested in the story as well. The good thing about the story for GTA 5 is that you literally get to the end of the story and you are given a choice, and the story emotionally invests you one way or the other to choose to make the choice and be invested in the choice that you make. And like, I think depending on your personality, you dislike one of the three way more than the other, and it just depends on your sort of your temperament and your experiences in life of which ones you dislike. And they're not all dislikable purely for being cartoonish. They're actually fairly under the sort of cartoonishness of it. You can actually see a fair bit of depth into the characters. Like, Trevor is a cartoonishly like evil character on the face of it, but as you go through the game playing Trevor, you realize that some of the points that he makes are actually very well grounded, even for him being fairly unhinged. The main draw to Trevor is the fact that he isn't a hypocrite about what he is. The other two characters try to sort of do this sort of running away from their nature, even while they're, murdering people left, right, and center. Trevor knows who he is and accepts it and is happy to live that way. And there's a certain amount of respect that you have to give that, even though he is a complete psychopath. But yeah, the story's good. It deals with a lot of things. It deals with, deals with parenthood and dealing with your fucking kids, and like dealing with trying to do the best for them while they actively hate you. And there's a lot of running themes of like running from your past and trying not to repeat the same mistakes that you did in the past. It's not the most well told story, but it does enough to get you through the game. It does enough to get you to some really great set pieces, and really really good missions, really really memorable missions, throughout the whole game. Never mind all the fact that like the amount of cars and aircraft, and the fact that you can play a whole 9 hole game of golf, and you can play tennis, and you can do a fucking triathlon. It's insanely good. But yes, so that's that. Um okay. I've got 3 more. I'm legitimately going to have to go though, which is fairly fucking annoying when we've got 3 more. I tell you what, I will pick the 3 that I think are going to be the last 3, and I will talk about them on Sunday, and then we will do the final ordering on Sunday, and I'll make sure I keep this. Okay. Last 3. Oh, I know that, Mumra. I want to make sure I'm making the right decision for me. Right, I'm going to allow myself 1 nostalgia goggles game on this, and it's that. Alright, so that is my top 10. I will talk about Sunshine, Sapphire, and Street Fighter 2 on Sunday. Yeah, I'm happy with that top 10. Now, in terms of the fucking order, I don't think I could do an order, I don't think I'm going to do an order, but I will. It would take too long to legitimately sit and think about the order of them games, so I'm going to keep them to them, but I will talk about these 3 games here on Sunday. But yes, I am going to have to go now. Thank you guys for staying with me. This has been, I mean, for me, I usually only do like including the music, I do a 1.5 hour stream, really. Sorry, excluding the music, it's a 1.5 hour stream. I've done a 3-hour stream. My throat is sore. But yeah, thank you guys for being here with me. Yeah, 3 hours. Yes, 0. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm glad that you keep coming back. It means a lot to me. You have no idea. Thank you everyone who's been here for the entire time. Thank you Spider Queen for dropping in. It was nice to see you. Thank you for the follow as well. Thank you Monroe for coming, and UTC, and obviously Zero. Thank you Warbeck. Thank you again also Warbeck for sorting out that original tier list for me. That saved. That must have taken you fucking ages, and I really appreciate you putting the effort in to do that for me. But yes, I am going to go now. I will be back on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. I am going to go to bed. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you do something fun tomorrow, or just have a nice chill. Hopefully it's not too hot in the UK, because it's been really warm where I am today, like oppressively warm. But yeah. Have a good night, sleep well, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye.